Now that everyone's talking about flying coming out in Legion and in Warlords, I decided to throw a quick compilation of my 20 favorite, most badass mounts. Now feel free to leave a comment if you disagree with this, or you can also leave a comment if you think my order's a little bit wonky, or you think I just left some out. So feel free to discuss, guys, and let's kick this off with number 20. Now I know a lot of you guys aren't going to agree with this, but for number 20 I went the Panda and Phoenix. This is awarded through challenge mode dungeons back during MOP, and it has such a unique feel and design behind it. It's actually one of my favorite mounts. For number 19 is the Corrupted Firehawk. This has a great dark and unique feel to it. And it's not the hardest mount to get, so if you guys are just dinging level 100 and you got a couple friends, or you can use the group finder, just knock this one out in 2 weeks. And it's just a badass mount. I couldn't resist not having a rocket for number 18, so I decided to go with the X3 Touring Rocket, or the X1 Nether Rocket, or you can go full bullet mode, guys, and use the Big Love Rocket. Number 17 is the Ruby Panther, just like every other Panther mount, but hell, this one's red, and it looks pretty badass. Number 16 went with the Nether Rays. Now I wanted to go with Mystic Rune Saber, but hell, I don't own that mount, and it's not on the PTR, so let's just say Nether Rays. For number 15, I went with the Corrupted Dreadwing. This is a great mount, just added recently, and it makes the whole Pex's grind feel worth it in my eyes. Now for number 14, I went with the Volcanic Stone Drake. Not much of a fan of non-pro drakes, but hell, this one has a very badass vibe to it, and it's pretty cool. It's a true mount of a conqueror. Number 13 is that mount we all wanted leaving the Death Knight starting zone, and that's the Wingsteed the Ebon Blade. It's a badass mount, and it's exclusive to the DKs, so the whole Undead theme is perfect, and it's still, like I said, badass. Now number 13 is the Phorescent Stone Drake. This is very similar to the one I just showed off at number 14. However, the color scheme on this one, it's not as common. It's pretty rare in this game, actually, having the gray and black into a purple. So if you guys ever played Saints Row, you know how cool this color combination is, and that's why I picked it. For number 11, I decided to go with at least one Cloud Serpent, and that's the Astral Cloud Serpent. The Thundering Cloud's pretty cool, but god, this one is pretty badass. It's very unique, and I just love the whole Astral Titan feel to it. Number 10, I didn't really like Drakes, but the Ironbound Pro Drake is pretty cool. The animation and art style is very empowering, and hell, why not? Again, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the Jeweled Onyx Panther for number 9. Very similar to the red one I just showed, but this one costs more money, it's harder to get, it's more desired, and just the vibe behind the black. It's kind of badass, it's got that nice tint to it, and it's bigger. I mean, bigger is always better. Not entirely sure if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but for number 8 is the Spawn of Galcarus. This is a cool, tough-looking mount. It's a Drake. I know I said I didn't like those, but for God's sakes, this thing has a true warrior passion on it. Spikes, tusk. I mean, come on. It's badass. Number 7 is that mount that I'll never ever get, and that's the Mimiron's Head. This is a cool mount, dropped from Old War. I've tried this so many times, just that low drop rate is impossible. And to only make it worse, my friend got it accidentally while going for a transmog piece. It's insulting, but hell, this is a badass mount. A lot of people want it. It's really desired. For number 6, I went with the original, unique, badass mount itself, the Nether Drake. Everyone wanted these back in TBC, and you can see why. It's got that cool trail behind it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it deserves some credit, but still put it at number 6, because hell, why not? Now this one I know a lot of people are going to get mad about. For number 5, I went with the Cinder Main Charger. A lot of people didn't like this because it's a Recruit a Friend exclusive, but it feels badass, it looks badass, it has a Ragnaros storyline behind it too. I mean, you're flying on a fucking fiery warhorse. How much more of a badass can you get than that? Well, apparently you can outdo a fiery warhorse, and that's with an undead one, Invincible. This mount has so much lore behind it, it's amazing. ICC is a great raid. A lot of people want this one. I see Reddit posts all the time saying that it never drops for them. Well, I got it first try, so that sucks for you guys. But anyway, this is a great mount, and it's personally one of my favorites, and it's actually the only mount I actually use while flying around. Number 3 is the Headless Horseman mount. This is a lot harder to obtain than the ICC one, so that's why I decided to put it up here. Even though it's not as badass, it's still, it's just more unique. It's harder to obtain because you have a short window to get it every year, so a lot of people do run that, and it's the reason why actually people resubscribe just during that particular part of the year. So, cool mount, and definitely one of the ones I want. Number 2 is actually the mount that made me play the game, and that's the Icebound Vanquisher, or the Bloodbath Vanquisher. And to be fair, it was Cindergosa herself that actually made me play, not these mounts, but these are based on Cindergosa, so it has that kick-ass kind of lore tie to it. Really hard to get, and not really, but you still need a friend. and it's pretty badass. And definitely, guys, I think a lot of people have these now, so it's not as cool and exclusive. But, I mean, it is very cool, and it got me into this game, so that's why it's one of my favorites. And finally, for number 1, the Felsteer Annihilator. This is a brand new mount that came out. It's very exclusive, very hard to get. 1 drops for every mythic kill on Archimon and Hellfire Citadel. It's a really cool mount, badass. A lot of people like the one it was based off of, the flying mech machine that you get from engineering. So having a nice felt to it is kind of cool. This has a little bit of story behind it as well, and it's just badass, very hard to get, so I think it deserves the number 1 position. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, please subscribe. Do what you have to do. And if you didn't, thumbs it down. Like I